The starred one did as she was told, showing us the way past the creatures. As she flew above, we raced to keep up on foot. We would have flown, but we didn't want to leave Tolo alone in his odd state of mind. The glassy ground ended. A grey stone ground appeared that was much easier to walk on. The dragon landed. I must take leave now, but be safe on your journey. She took off toward her own kind with a grateful thank you. We waved good, by turning to see a large castle in the distance, held up by a large rock pedestal that went straight up. There's only 2 ways in, and I am not going in by the front door. Tolo mentioned, then cautioned, keep close and look for trouble. We were out in the open, and we felt unsure of our surroundings. Our lives were in the hands of Tolo, the question being, would he be able to handle the pressure in his condition? We felt as though the castle was looking down upon us, just waiting to trap us on the inside. When we reached the rock, towering upwards to the castle above, Tolo said, "We will follow it around until I find the hidden passage." Januka felt uneasy. Something was near, but what? He couldn't catch enough of a scent. But as he pondered on this, Tolo, in a hushed voice, whispered, "Follow closely." As he placed his hand on a root, coming from the side of the rock pedestal, he pulled on it, then squeezed it, making water come out. He flushed his eyes with the water, and looked at the rock pedestal for a moment, then walked into a hidden place in the rock. He disappeared, as if he walked right through the rock. We felt around till we found the exact spot, and slowly walked into the rock wall, not knowing what could be waiting for us. On the other side we saw a long tunnel, completely made up of bright crystals of many pastel colors. Tolo already ahead said, "We won't have any trouble till we reach the opening of the tunnel's end." We noticed the floor was very damp and full of a mucus, like slime. What a beautiful place, breathed Lily, even under such a horrid castle. Killen looking at the crystals. The dragons forged this cave with their fire many years ago. I thought till now it was a myth, but I only hope the rest of the myth is not to be true. "The rest?" I asked. Killen continued. "It is said that to protect its secrets, a horrible creature was placed in the center of the tunnel in a room of life or death. No one knows what that might mean, but it is also said that when a true heart enters with the thoughts of happiness, they shall not perish but instead flourish with the secrets within. What that could possibly mean is a mystery to us all." As we went deeper in, the water began to deepen, covering our feet. Januka went ahead, smelling a scent further down into the tunnel. It was strange to him. The scent was a smell never known to him. It made his curiosity grow, for a weevil, unlike a dog, can smell if the bearer of the scent was good or evil. This smell was equal to both, driving him onward to find out how the bearer could have such a strange scent. We walked on till we came to the end of the tunnel. A room much like a cave was ahead of us. The rounded room was filled with water so that you could see your reflection in it. The only thing other than water was a flat slab of rock in the exact middle of the room, with a strange light coming from above it. Killen said, "We shall simply fly across to the rock and get our bearings." To which Tola replied, "We shall not fly, for there is a danger above as well as below." We couldn't see the ceiling, for the darkness was so muffled by the strange light that we only had the word of Tolo to believe in. "Anna, your pendant, perhaps it can help, the blue and gold one." So trusting him, I said, "La Never." The plain pendant's middle turned to water. I watched as the water streamed into the darkness. A face came from out of the darkness. It was a horrid creature with empty eyes that had no feeling or life. Then a sound came from the pendant that drove the creature back into the darkness. A beautiful melody, with no words, a song made up of breaths and whisperings of a dream. A flicker of a figure crossed the pendant. It was the figure of a beautiful woman. Tolo warned, "Don't be fooled. Her beauty is not within, unless you give her yours. Your pendant is the truth pendant. What you see through it will help us, but don't let your mind waver from thoughts of happiness."
Whatever the pendant sees may reflect the memory of a nightmare to you. I nodded in little understanding, as I took the lead, holding my pendant up to my eye, looking through it directly toward the rock slab. A pathway appeared of waiting water where we were to cross. I told Tolo to hold on to my hand to make a chain.
The path was very slim and hard to follow. The others held on to one another, all but Januka. He stayed in the back, smelling the water's edge, not paying any attention to where his footing was. The scent had him mesmerized. He felt something slip over his head, starting to pull him downward, making his face slip under the dark water's surface. I turned to see the same creature from the pendant pulling on him. I turned to Tolo, trying to get out the words that wouldn't escape from my throat, but already aware of what was happening. He said, "Quickly, Anna, don't think upon it. Think of a wish, a dream, anything, but don't think of him." I tried, I truly did, but in the back of my mind I could hear his air running out. Soon all of us were being pulled on by our legs, sinking deeper into the water. Tolo held perfectly still, his eyes closed tight, with the screams surrounding him. The creatures weren't touching him. With his eyes still closed he came to me and said, "Anna, trust my words, think of a time with happiness," while holding my hand. The thought of my past Christmases, waiting for Santa at the chimney, falling asleep and waking to presents, forgetting all that was around me. When I noticed the hold on me was released, I quickly yelled, "Everyone think of a good thought. It's the only way to free yourself." One by one, the creatures released their grip and went deep into the water with a chorus of hisses. I saw Jenuka not moving, his head lying still under water. Lily thinking aloud, "Maybe if we think of good together, we can pull him out. We must at least try." So we all grabbed him and slowly pulled his head above the water. Killen picked up his limp body as we all quickly ran to the slab landing. Out of breath, Killen placed Jenuka's body down. He seemed to be lifeless. Lily went up to Jenuka. He was alive, but his eyes were as empty as those of the creatures. I took the pendant and thoroughly went over his body to see if his thoughts were of death. His body was covered in invisible marks from the creature's claws. I said, "Jenuka, come back to us. We need you. Please come back." Slowly I saw his spirit shape fighting off the form of another weevil. With a blow that sent the weevil deep into the water, he came out of it, winning the battle. He started to hack and cough, not moving at all, then said, "My son, he is dead.